And the Doc Greene Show is live and on the air. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you get a special treat because I had the lovely and talented Crystal Lee Larimore live in the studio here today.
I was bribed.
Yeah, she was indeed bribed. I promised her lunch she'd come. Right now, though, we want to talk about protecting yourself. So on the Newsmaker line, from self-defense...
Good morning, Doc.
Appreciate you taking the time to call in about selfdefensefund.com.
We are a membership litigation association that protects anyone that's a member from use of any weapon of any kind throughout all 50 states. Unlike the NRA, which is a membership legislative association, they protect your right to
and a
to
relatively ineffective one at that.
No, don't talk about the NRA.
Yeah, well, I highly support them, and you should. Everyone should. The NRA, they protect your. I don't agree with some of their choices, but of politicians, of supporting them, but they do protect your rights to own a Second Amendment rights. But we are a legislative, or we're a litigation association, which if you use a weapon, then we can defend you. Now, what's happened in the United States recently, and it seems to be increasing, is the victim seems to have less rights than the criminal. A criminal has more rights than the victim. We just witnessed a shooting again in California. Why do you think shooters always kill people in California? I believe it's because California doesn't allow guns.
You think? Gun-free zones.
How come you don't have the same result in Texas?
Look, if you want to catch flies, put out some honey. If you want to have shooting events, you make it a gun-free zone.
True. That's a true statement. Yes.
Well, I just posted your logo there in the chat room for the Chat Cats. The whole idea is simply this, guys. If you ever have to use your gun, and I carry a weapon all the time, if I ever have to use it, that is not going to be the time for me thinking about how I'm going to pay for the lawyer. What I need to be thinking about is how I'm going to prepare myself. Now, when I get up in the morning, I put my weapon on. I check my mag. I check my chamber. I check my safety because it's 1911 and it has.
Do you get
safety.
dressed first?
Well, no, then I get dressed. Because you might have to defend yourself before you get dressed. You can never know this. And then, after I've done all of those things, then I get my dual mag holder and I strap that on. And
That's some pretty sexy talk right there, Doc. I mean, come on. Strap my mag holder on. Okay.
I got my mag holder on.
I put my thigh holster on first thing in the morning.
All right. I'd love to see the video. So anyway, you prepared all of those things, but before you walk out that door, you are already open to be sued by someone who doesn't appreciate your God-given right. Luke chapter 22, verse 36, I believe it is, where the Lord Jesus Christ himself said, if you don't have a gun, sell your coat and buy one. So you got to exercise a little bit of common sense here. You got to protect yourself, whatever assets you may own. And the way you do that is you go to selfdefensefund.com and you become a member. And then what happens? If I should walk into one of those shooting events like they had out there in California, or like happened right here in Houston last Sunday, where they had some whacked out California bird. The guy was from California.
Was he really?
And he pulls out his AR-15. He's here visiting some friends. Pulls out his AR-15 and starts whacking away at people.
That's not what we mean in Texas by open carry.
Yeah, well, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Now, there was a guy that was licensed that was instrumental in bringing this guy down, but he also got shot.
Wow.
So if that happens, you got to have something like self-defense fund, because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of hurt. It costs a lot of money to defend against a righteous shooting. Is that right, Larry?
Yes, you can look at about $100,000 plus if you're involved in any type of action like that. Right now we have one particular case that we have $175,000. It's been going on for 4 years, and it was just a attitude problem with a police officer, and that's all that's about. That was the C.J. Grisham case, if you're familiar with that.
Oh,
that's still going on?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it's still going on.
The Officer Ermis doctrine. The Ermis doctrine is that if you are accosted by a police officer, you immediately bend
Surrender.
over, present your hands behind your back to be handcuffed, and you go to jail. You do not speak to the police officer unless spoken to, and you do not ask any questions.
Wow.
You wait until your day of court.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea what was going on. So
there's a problem in a shooting event if you happen to be at the wrong place in the wrong time, and so you're traveling across country or in state or in the city, and you stop at for fuel or at a convenience store or something, and it just happens to be wrong place, the wrong time, and it's being burglarized and robbed, and you become in that altercation. Here's the problem: if you shoot someone, or a lot of times you don't hit the target. That's what CHL training and licensed security training, that's what they teach you to do, is try to hit the target. But the actual facts are, even in police circles who train and train and train and train, only about 1 bullet in 6 actually hits the target. And because you're in a highly emotional, highly adrenaline situation, and the problem is not hitting the criminal, but hitting a innocent person. And if you hurt an innocent person, then there's enough liberal lawyers out there that's going to attack you.
Heidi Hansing and I belong to a group called A Girl and a Gun, and we are being taught to shoot at close range in instant situations. And I was surprised at how nervous I was when you're holding the gun and you have to hold it close up to you like this, and you have to shoot, or when you're holding the gun out and then you have to pull the trigger when they say now, when they give the command. It was really interesting. Now, Heidi is a lieutenant in the Army, former lieutenant in the Army, and she's had plenty of training. So she was clearly less nervous than I was, but it was pretty intense. I have a question. Is your defense fund for anyone in the United States, or is this just Texas-based?
No, it's anyone in the United States. We have members coast to coast, border to border.
Okay.
And surprisingly, we have members in California, New York, New Hampshire, New Jersey, all those states, because they really clearly recognize the need to have an attorney if you're charged up there, because the criminals have more rights than the victims.
So I have another question. Do you remember the case in, I think it was Dallas, Texas, where the foster care father was arrested because he had a weapon?
Yes.
You remember that case?
Yes.
So someone broke into the home. So someone broke into the home. He subdued them. He had the gun. The police came. They arrested the guy, and then they arrested the foster care parent because he had a gun. He said, "No, hold on. I followed the law." And they said, no, you're going to be arrested. Now, I think he was let go with no charges because he did have the gun locked up the way he was supposed to. So here's what happened.
Well, I'm going to take the side of the police in that particular case, because they are not there to decide guilt or innocence. That's not their job. So, yes, in that situation, he would be arrested and put into the system. Now, it would be up to the district attorney or the county attorney or the grand jury. Depends on when, but you're going to need representation of that. So the district attorney can do a no charge, the county attorney can do a no charge, or the grand jury can do a no charge.
Hold on, why would he be arrested? Why would he be arrested? The gun was locked up. Someone's breaking into their home. He gets the gun out from being locked up in the behind 4 locks that it's supposed to be locked up. Why would he naturally be arrested?
Because in today's society, some liberal attorney could come back and say that the police was wrong, and that the victim has more, or the criminal has more rights than the victim. So they do it for self-protection. So that's why that they just arrest everybody in sight, and they let the system sort it out.
Okay, well,
It's
that particular
wrong.
case kept me from being a foster parent. I was in the
Wow.
I was in the foster care system. They came to do. I had done all of my training, taken CPR. I had done everything I was supposed to do, and the only thing I had left was a home inspection. And when my foster care caseworker, or whatever he was called, came to my home to do my inspection, he said, "Okay, now about these guns that you mentioned you have, where are they?" And I said, "Point somewhere. They're everywhere." And he said, "Well, what kind do you have?" And I said, "This is all kinds. I have an AR-15. I got guns. I'm protected."
Too much information.
Too much information.
Did you have an attorney, or did
I didn't
you
tell
handle
him.
it by yourself?
No. I didn't have a foster kid. I was in the process of becoming a foster parent. So he said, "Where are your guns?" And I said, "I have all kinds of guns, and they're everywhere. So if you will tell me what I need to do with my guns, I will do that, but I will not have a gun in the house." And he said, no, you can have a gun. And he said, you have to have your ammo separate from your gun. And I said, "Okay, no problem." He goes, "Now, hold on. And then you have to have your gun locked up in a box over here. You have to have your ammo locked up in a box over here. Then you have to have both of those things locked up again." And I said, "No, that's just taking it to the ridiculous. Can't I just have my gun loaded in the closet on a high shelf with the closet door locked?" And he said, "No. They can't be together, and they both have to be locked up, and then they also have to be behind another lock." And I said, "Well, our business here is finished. Thank you very much. I am a single woman living in a home by myself."
But they don't care about that.
And he said to
Well, that
me,
is not the law, but let me tell you
he said it was a
something,
federal law, and he said he said it was a federal law if you are in the foster care program, and he said that was the exact reason that he was not a foster care parent.
Well, that is probably true, and it's a federal law if you're in the foster care program. But
So I don't. So there's a kid out there that I'm not fostering.
And that is a loss for everybody, let me tell you.
Amen.
It's a
and that
tremendous
needs to be
loss for
changed.
everybody. Yes.
And when you talk to your
Well,
legislators
the federal
about it, they don't want to
government
talk about it.
The federal government is there's concentrated effort to to disarm America. That's very, very clear. And that's why that federal program exists. But in Texas law, that's not true in Texas law. And I'm sure that was probably a federal judge that you got that from.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't get dinged on another one, Crystal Lee Larimore, because we're talking with Crystal Lee Larimore, by the way, the Damn Good Times. She's a
Publisher.
guest host today, publisher of the Damn Good Times.
Sean Dominguez is the editor-in-chief.
Okay. And
there's something else that we cover as well, other than guns. We've been only talking about guns, but a lot of women use pepper spray. They carry a pepper spray in their purse. Let's take an example. Some way, if you're in a crowded room and you shoot, defend yourself with pepper spray, and there's a severe asthmatic or some other respiratory problems, and it hits them, and they have medical problems. Do you think that you're going to be sued? Sure you are. Happens all the time.
I like stun guns, too.
Well, stun guns, and if you use a stun gun, you have no idea what the person's medical condition is. They
If
might
I have
be,
to use
right
a stun
on the
gun,
verge
I
of a
don't
heart attack.
care. I mean, come on.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm
going to stun him, and then I'm going to
taking
shoot
it to
him.
the point of where if you do that, I guarantee you that if you injure another person, I guarantee you you're going to be in the legal system. That's guaranteed.
well, one more reason why you've got to go to selfdefensefund.com. And I understand you have promo code DOC now set up. Is that right?
Woo!
Yes, sir. Even anyone that listens to this radio show, and they can go online, selfdefensefund.com. Make sure you put in your promo code DOC, and that will
Perfect.
credit the show for that member.
So
Well, you need to do it. And by the way, I currently have my insurance with another larger national company, but I'm switching over to selfdefensefund.com because,
you're going to need it one day.
well, you know, I had a vendor friend of mine who said, "Doc, I'm going to read about you in the news one day, aren't I?"
No. So what was that other ding for? Doc, I missed a ding. What happened?
That ding was for you for having guns everywhere.
Oh, for having guns everywhere. That's so funny. Yeah, if you come into my condo and you're not fully aware, there are a lot of stickers on there, and they're for your protection, not mine. But the stickers are, you give peace and hope a chance, and I'll cover you if it doesn't work out. This house is fully protected. I've got a sticker of an AR-15. So if you come in my house, just know, if you're not invited, you may not leave alive.
I like it. So, once again, Larry, people can go to selfdefensefund.com. They can put in promo code DOC and sign up. And you guys, too, can have protection. And it's relatively inexpensive, Larry. Tell us a little bit about what it costs.
Well, there's several ways to pay. It's by the month or by the year. If you're an individual, it's just $12.50 by the month or $150 by the year. And what that gives you is $1 million of protection, and that's all cost. You pay nothing. That includes appeals. That includes court costs. That includes a private investigator. It includes forensic testing laboratory. We're the only one of all our competitors. We're the only one that has a certified forensic testing lab that we do police work and stuff for at the current time. We have, if you're going to add on your family, like a significant other, and not a spouse, but I say significant other to be politically correct now.
Oh, for the love. No need for that here.
I understand that. But anyway, you can add them on for another $5, which would be $17.50 per month, or $210 a year. Then you could add on dependents. If you have children in college, campus crime is very, very real now. You can add those on for an extra $5. And here's the $1 million is $1 million per person per occurrence. So it's not difficult math. If you have a head of household and they sign up for the head of household at a monthly charge or a yearly charge, that's $1 million of protection. For another $5, you can put on your spouse or significant other, and that's $1 million for them. Now you're up to $2 million. Let's say you have 3 kids. You put them on for $5. Now you add $1 million each to one of those. So, and a lot of our competitors, you have to read the fine print. And I don't discourage anyone from research. I don't discourage anyone from comparing what we have to others. I highly encourage it, because it's better for you to know exactly what you're getting. And a lot of our competitors cover attorney fees only.
Right.
Well, they don't cover any of the other things.
What is your website?
It's selfdefensefund.com.
Selfdefensefund.com.
Okay, selfdefensefund.com. And
Yeah.
do you have an email?
Yes, it's selfdefensefund@gmail.com.
Selfdefensefund@gmail.com, guys.
Yes, sir.
Use promo code DOC when you call in there, and I'm encouraging all of you guys to sign up with Larry's company today and get some protection. You need to have protection. You can't just go out there carrying a weapon unless you've done your due diligence. Tommy Attaway points out in Fredonia you wouldn't have this problem, but we're not in Fredonia. Speaking of which,
true.
Larry, have you read that fine book by Tommy Attaway called We Defy?
We Defy.
No,
I've
sir,
read
I
that.
have not read that.
Well, Crystal, was it a good read?
It was a good read. I love Tommy Attaway, by the way.
We Defy by Tommy Attaway. You ought to get a copy of that, and you can get it on Amazon through the Raising Elephants Radio Marketplace. And, Larry, it's a good read, and it comes with a Doc Greene money-back guarantee. If you read it and it's not one of the best books you've read in the last 5 years, I will buy it from you, and I will give it to somebody who will appreciate it. So there you go. How do you beat that?
How do you beat that? Hey, the last time I saw Tommy Attaway, I was with our friend Johnny. Johnny flew Heidi and I up there. I get people tell me every day, "Oh, I saw your picture with Johnny," and
Well, I was thinking about
So
Johnny this
sad,
morning
I know,
because I
but-
realized that normally Johnny and I will be flying to Wichita Falls.
flying.
But
Yes,
since he has passed on, he's
We're
taking
driving.
the last great flight. We're driving.
I know, we're driving. We need to find someone who's willing to fly us all over Texas for the Liberty Movement.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
understand
like
why.
Johnny did. Yeah,
Like Johnny did, and he was a great patriot for Texas.
he was indeed.
So I have a question for the chat cats.
All right, chat cats.
All right, so I'm going off the grid a little bit. I'm going to sell my condominium. I'm going to buy an Airstream, and I'm going to get a little piece of land somewhere.
And you're going to get a
Where?
My Grid so that you can get off the grid,
Uh-huh.
so that you got your own solar powered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solar powered. It's other things. that's gonna happen.
MyGrid.com.
Yes. So
And you're going to get some selfdefensefund.com to make sure
Uh-huh.
that you're protected
Yep.
while you're out there in the middle of nowhere.
absolutely. And Heidi Hansing and I are going to hit the open road. She's about 6 months behind me on her Airstream, on purchasing her Airstream. So anyway, so we're going to I'm going to purchase an Airstream, modify it a little bit, and hit the road. But where in Texas do you live? Where's a good woody kind of area that's not too far outside of Houston? So that's what I need to know. Where am I going to get my little acre? Or 2 acres?
Livingston area, Conroe area.
I
Woody,
will
Piney
not
Wood.
live in Montgomery County, ever.
What, you don't trust the sheriff up there?
I don't trust any of them up there. Well, there's like 2 I trust.
Is Jim Napolitano still the police chief, or is he done?
In the city of Montgomery,
Okay.
he is. And that's probably the only city that
The
I would
only
want to
safe
live
place.
in Montgomery.
So
As long as he's there. But what if what if he retires? Then what? Then
then we got
it's
a
so
problem.
corrupt in Montgomery County. So
It
anyway,
is.
I just want to know some different places. But Lake Livingston area is really good, and I've lived there for 15 years, so I'm trying to find some new terrain.
Well, I'm watching
There's
the chat room
Longview or Tyler. Those are wooded
Longview,
areas, wooded
okay.
cities. Longview
up in the
or
Pine
Tyler.
Curtain
That's
area
East
there.
Texas.
Mm-hmm. All right, perfect.
All right, guys. Well, I want you to buzz Larry. Be sure to use promo code DOC. Go to selfdefensefund.com or selfdefensefund@gmail.com if you want to send him an email. And get signed up, get some protection. Larry, thank you for being a part of the show today.
One quick thing, if you have time, I'd be interested in. We made a partnership with Open Carry Texas. You know, C.J. Grisham is the
I pay
president of
dues
that.
every month to Open Carry Texas, every month, auto debit.
And we have made a partnership agreement with them. Matter of fact, we are purchasing a shoot-no-shoot simulator.
Oh,
And
cool.
CJ is going to be carrying that around the state. And this is the same simulator that the police use. And we're going to have classes for our membership and also for OCT members. And that's going to be coming real soon. CJ be traveling around the state, and you can sign up for that and get a real-time shoot-no-shoot scenario. It's the same training that the police get. So you need to, if you're going to carry a gun, you need to be trained.
Well, I totally agree. You need to be trained. I paid a lot of money. I went out to Front Sight and got my training out in Nevada, in Pahrump, Nevada. Spent a week out there. It was very expensive, but the training was intense.
Excellent. Well, that's our philosophy is learn how to avoid an attack and not just survive one.
Indeed. Well, I agree with you. And it may not be as easy as it used to be. Things are getting worse. Larry with selfdefensefund.com, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I do appreciate it. I got to get out of here and let the Apostle Claver go off on some stuff. But spread the word. RagingElePhantsRadio.com, your source for Texas news and information. We got the new app. Now you can listen to Texas News Anywhere with the new app on your smartphone.
And subscribe to the Damn Good Times.
Subscribe to the Damn Good Times. It's actually $50 a year, but it's
$50
$50
a year.
well spent, and they'll deliver it to your door like they do me.
You can go online, www.thedamngoodtimes.com, and subscribe online.
I would do it. I would do it today.
Thanks, Doc, for having me on today. It's been fun.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for letting me rearrange the furniture.
I've got way more viewers on the YouTube channel today than I would normally have because they just wanted to see Crystal. And you've been getting a lot of compliments here in the chat room. I didn't want to interrupt the show for all of that.
I'm single. Just saying.
There she is. Well, and I'm having a little trouble figuring that one out. But anyway.
I'm busy, Doc.
Anyway, God bless you guys. Be sure to be there tomorrow. We're going to be in Wichita Falls tomorrow, high noon. And Larry, you're welcome to come if you want. We're going to be there at high noon in front of the courthouse in Wichita Falls. And we're telling the federal government to get your hands off of Texas.
I like Wichita Falls. Good town.
It's a pretty little town. I spent some of my Air Force career up there. And so we're going up there tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to try to run back by the base, see if I can remember anything, if any of that stuff is still there. But we're going to be up there tomorrow, high noon. Jeff Staggs is organizing this event. We've got some amazing speakers that are going to be up there. And you need to be up there to hear it. Tommy Attaway is going to be speaking. And Larry, next time we talk, what I need for you to do, I need you to have gotten that book, We Defy by Tommy Attaway. So next time we talk, we can talk about that too.
I will certainly do that. I will purchase it today.
It's a good book, great read. I promise you'll enjoy it. And that's going to do it for the Doc Greene Show, guys. So God bless you. God bless Texas. Most of all, Texans, bless God.